The PT-76 amphibious light tank entered service with Soviet Army in 1951. It was designed as a reconnaissance vehicle. Production continued until the late 1960s and around 12,000 of these tanks were built. Around 10,000 were used by the Soviet military, while around 2,000 were exported to Soviet allies around the globe. By 1995, Russian military had only 200 of these tanks in service. Russian naval infantry units operated last 30 of these tanks until 2015, when the type was completely retired from the Russian service. Despite its age, this light tank is still in service with at least 25 countries. However, numbers are reducing. The PT-76 has an ideal design for amphibious capability, but both has a number of limitations as a fighting vehicle. Its amphibious design with a boat-like hull and limitations in weight allowed less armor protection. Thin tank's hull is vulnerable to 12.7 mm machine guns and artillery fragments. Later production vehicles were fitted with an automatic fire suppression and NBC protection systems. This light tank is armed with a 76 mm gun. It has a maximum effective range of 1.5 kilometers and rate of fire of 7 rounds per minute. By modern standards, this gun is considered light, but it can easily defeat lightly armored vehicles. A total of 40 rounds are carried for the main gun. Original PT-76 tanks had no gun stabilization, so these tanks could not fire accurately on the move. An improved PT-76B model with a fully stabilized gun was produced since 1959. Secondary armament consists of coaxial 7.62 mm machine gun. Some tanks were fitted with a 12.7 mm anti-aircraft machine gun on top of the roof. Vehicle has a crew of 3, including commander, loader and driver. The PT-76 is powered by a V6B diesel engine, developing 240 horsepower. Vehicle is fully amphibious without additional preparation. It is propelled on water by 2 water jets. Auxiliary fuel tanks can be installed for longer operational range. In the late 1970s, a new amphibious light tank was developed in the Soviet Union to replace the PT-76 in the reconnaissance role. However, during development, this new vehicle was repurposed as infantry fighting vehicle and was adopted in 1987 as the BMP-3. Instead, a different light tank was developed for the airborne troops and naval infantry. It was adopted by the Russian airborne troops in 2005 as the Sprut SD. However, only a relatively small number of these light tanks, around 50 to 75, were delivered to the airborne units. The Russian army eventually left without proper replacement for the PT-76.